Welcome to This Endorian Life, a Star Wars podcast from the Radio Meanwhile Network. My name is Stephen Rudd.
And I'm Nick Gunning. We're following the Ewoks from Return of the Jedi to the Ewok TV movies, the 80s cartoon, and beyond. Hey, and speaking of those Ewok movies and Return of the Jedi, today, as we record, February 3rd, Warwick Davis's birthday.
Oh.
Happy birthday to Warwick Davis.
What is that thing you always say? Kismet? It's Kismet.
Yeah, it is. It's Kismet.
It's meant to be, right? That's what that is.
Before we get into this, how do you feel about Willow?
Birthday.
Do you like Willow?
Oh, I love Willow.
I like Willow too, and I'm actually
with
pretty
Val
excited.
Kilmer?
I'm pretty excited about the new Disney Plus series coming out.
Yeah, I'm equally as excited about that as I was about the new Dark Crystal show. And when that came out, I thought that was really good. I really enjoyed it.
I tried with that Dark Crystal show. I just thought it was so ugly. I couldn't get past it.
Well, that is the Dark Crystal.
I know, but it was just
it's actually brighter than the Dark Crystal.
It was relentless. Just those gross, like, I don't know, turkey skeleton
Skeksis?
oozing pustules.
It's great.
Couldn't do it. I'm excited about Willow. I'm excited about
Willow.
Okay,
good, yeah. I was really excited because I loved, as a kid, like, that was for some reason I was allowed to watch that, but I could not. I was not allowed to watch The Simpsons.
Huh. Okay.
You can watch Willow with like all that.
Right. Everything going on
not
there.
The Simpsons.
Yeah,
but not The Simpsons.
You know, the Willow novelization, I love novelizations. I've never read it, but I've heard that it's great. And there's actually a novel series written by Chris Claremont. Like, Chris Claremont, best known as writing X-Men for decades.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of hates that. That say it's like an older Willow, and everybody's like, he hardly seems like the character. So I don't know. But I've always wanted to read him. But I feel like maybe we just need to do a mini like Willow episode when the new show comes out. Because Warwick Davis is back. The original Wicket, you know?
Dude, it's going to be... I think it's going to be good. It can't be terrible. It's going to
No, I agree. Yeah. But I sidetracked us. We're not talking about that today, Steve. What are we talking about?
That is stretching beyond, for sure.
That's the beyond, yep.
So today we are discussing Season 1, Episode 12, Blue Harvest, which originally aired November 23rd, 1985. We were wee little boys.
Yes, we were. All right, let's take a look at the cast and crew. Today's episode was written by Paul Dini, but we have a co-credit of Sam Wilson. And I looked up Sam Wilson's credit just this episode. According to IMDb, this is the only credit he has.
Really?
So, who knows? Who knows?
It's not particularly amazing.
No, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Had that Sam Wilson mediocre spice to it.
Yes, it did. Directed by Raymond J. Felice. And this episode, remember, last one was the oddball that was never released commercially. This one was only released on VHS as part of the compilation called Wicket the Hero. Interesting choice, because I wouldn't say that Wicket, I guess he's the hero of this. As much as there is a hero in this episode, he kind of is. But
yeah,
I don't know that this is an episode that demonstrates Wicket's heroism, is all I'm saying.
No, not at all.
Okay. Our featured cast member this time around is Myrna Fried, who plays Huna. Huna the Flog in this episode. So, scattered credits throughout, did a lot working with Muppets. So she was a Muppeteer on the film Follow That Bird and 50-plus episodes of Fraggle Rock. What's your history with Fraggle Rock?
Non-existent at
Nothing.
all. I never did Fraggle Rock. I was Muppets though. Like Follow That Bird. Like I love that movie.
Yeah, that's Sesame Street. Yeah. No, I love Fraggles as a kid. I haven't watched any of the newer incarnations, including the Apple Plus show, which I've heard only good things about. So.
Oh yeah, that's brand new. The kids wanted to watch that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Well, that's it for this episode.
No Care Bears though, right?
I didn't see a Care Bears credit.
Shame.
I would have told you if there was, but. No, not this time.
I love that's a running joke in this show.
It's not a joke; it's true.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It is. It really is.
You love those little guys.
I love them, especially the blue one with the clouds. Grumpy Bear.
Yeah. I don't know if that's his name, but okay.
I think it is.
Grumpy?
I don't know. I think
Grumpy Bear.
I think it's Grumpy Bear.
Okay.
Something like that.
I believe you.
Yeah. Well, let's go. Let's do the uber detailed plot. Ewoks Season 1, Episode 12, Blue Harvest.
Okay.
Preparations are underway for the fall festival. Tebow and Wicket struggle to deliver a wagon of melons to the village that seems to have gotten heavier along the way. Milani arrives and gives them a snack, then runs away flirtatiously, while Weechie and Willie laugh, giving away their hiding spot inside the melon wagon. Suddenly, loud roars are heard on the forest floor. A raging Vorshak is seen devouring the bark of neighboring trees. Meanwhile, a band of Duloks that secretly released the Vorshak begin to infiltrate and steal the Ewoks' harvest. Thankfully, the Ewoks are able to subdue the Vorshak using a net saturated with blue Olap leaf potion.
Mm-hmm.
The Duloks realize their distraction is gone and quickly hide. While hiding, the Duloks overhear Logray explaining that the blue Olap potion makes you joyous and happy, which is why the Vorshak calm down. But the red leaf potion turns you evil.
Uh-oh.
The Dulok chieftain schemes to steal and give the red potion to a giant flog so they can steal the harvest while the Ewoks are under attack. Bega, remember Bega, the purple donkey
I was like,
bowl
oh,
thing?
he's back.
Yeah.
I thought he was like a
Yeah, he's
one-off,
back.
but no, we got him.
Yep. Bega discovers them hiding and causes them to fall to the forest floor. Those Duloks deserve it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Later, the Dulok shaman infiltrates the Ewok village dressed as Honest Umwak, the Tulga trader. Wicket and Tebow try and stop Umwak from walking into the hut, but fail to stop him. The disguised Dulok steals a potion and escapes in a cloud of dust. Wicket and Tebow find the Dulok trying to run away and chase after him. The shaman finds a giant flog girl and administers the potion, but very quickly realizes he stole the wrong potion when the flog develops a crush on everything it sees. The shaman thinks the plan could still work, considering the flog may accidentally, and I do air quotes here, kill the Ewoks with kindness,
Right.
end quote, and still be an adequate distraction. Wicket and Tebow run into the flog, and it lovingly follows them back to the Ewok village. Wicket hides, but the giant flog is tearing the place apart, searching for him. Logray very quickly puts the pieces together on what's happening and determines the only way to counter the potion is to shock the flog out of the spell somehow.
Of course.
Yeah, he also reverse it. That's
Yeah,
would be
just-
the
right.
honest. Yeah, he also warns that if Wicket tries to run away, the flog will continue to destroy the village looking for him. The Dulok chieftain is miffed that the wrong potion was used, but has a conniving plan to kidnap Wicket so that the flog creates havoc. The Duloks successfully kidnap Wicket, and when the flog awakens, it begins to search for him, causing all sorts of damage, just like they thought.
Mm-hmm.
While the Ewoks are distracted, the Duloks begin to raid the harvest. They also convince the flog to bring Wicket back to her own home, and then manage to take the whole Ewok village captive, even raiding their harvest feast they prepared. Wicket pleads with Huna, the flog, to stop because his village is in danger. Thinking of a way to shock Huna, he makes... You son of a gun. So last time I told Nick that I pretty much read everything that's in front of me. he dastardly added something in here to trick me, but I actually caught it.
It says,
Nice trick.
What does it say
It
there?
says he makes passionate love to her right there on the bridge.
But that's not
I almost read that.
You almost
I really
did.
almost
You
read
came
it.
close.
I almost did.
But what
I
really
did.
happens?
He kisses her on the nose, and doing so suddenly shocks her out of the spell. Wicket explains to Huna what the Duloks did to her, and Wicket thinks of a plan to get back at the nasty Duloks for tricking them. They both return to the village, much to the mockery of Gornish, the chieftain.
Mm-hmm.
In honor of pairing them together, the flog performs a dance for the Duloks. While the Duloks are distracted by the dance, the Ewoks are able to retake their village, chasing away the nasty Duloks. Huna captures the shaman, and the Ewoks place a leaf necklace on him. A blue Olap leaf necklace, that is, yeah. The shaman finds this out after falling in the river while running away. Unfortunately for him, this necklace fell off and landed on a river hippo, the same one we saw in episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
It landed on its nose, causing it to fall madly in love with the shaman. He runs away in terror. Back at the village, the Ewoks thank Huna for helping them. Wicket admits he will miss her, and before leaving, Huna tells him not to worry and will, quote, get over her in time. No one is happier that Huna is gone than Milani.
True.
Roll credits.
True. What does she keep calling him? Her honey drop?
Honey bear? Honey drop? Yeah.
Drop, bear?
Honey drop, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice try.
I
Oh
know.
man, I almost read
I
that.
know. I would have loved it. I would have loved it. Are they harvesting basketballs? Because it sure looks like they got a wagon full of basketballs in the beginning.
Or you know what they really look like? They look like orange beach balls because they
Yeah,
got that circle.
they do.
They got the circle that holds
They don't look edible, is all I'm saying.
They really don't.
And they're
They
not
don't.
blue, so that's more of an orange harvest, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's a fall. It's a fall
yeah.
harvest. I mean, when did the episode come out? November
We mentioned
23rd, the
November,
day
yeah.
before Thanksgiving, right?
We mentioned in the end of the last episode that Blue Harvest was a in-joke with Star Wars. Steve, you want to enlighten us?
Yes. So Blue Harvest is what the name of Return of the Jedi was, so that people would not flock to the set
Yeah.
because they were working in in California, right? The redwood forests. They were out there in the woods, and they didn't want people just going like, oh, the third episode or the sixth. The next installment of Star Wars is being filmed out in the woods because they had no control over anything. People could walk in from wherever, so they called it Blue Harvest, and it was like the short description of it was like a horror movie or something, like a teen horror movie.
The first time I heard that name was the Family Guy Star Wars spoof.
Yes,
Like I
me
didn't
too.
know about
That's the
that
first time I
before
heard it.
then, and then I realized, oh, that's cool.
And somebody explained to me the significance of it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's crazy that I didn't hear about that until now. Like
Yeah.
they're still like, and that came out like 10 years ago maybe.
Yeah.
So like we're still talking like 20 years of almost it's 30.
I think it was one of those
yeah.
things that people knew at the time afterwards and stuff. But I just that was not a factor
Right.
that trickled its way to me. But
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of funny when because okay, first of all, here's two things that I had a little bit of an issue with. The Varshaks just vanish. Like once they're kind of like, that's not a threat anymore, they're just gone. And I really thought that those were going to somehow play a part in the resolution, and they didn't.
Yeah, I think it was just to demonstrate the potency of the potion. That's really all it was.
It was funny too because it seemed very like druggy. Like Logray's like, "Oh, pour this on it and try not to inhale that smoke," and they drop it on the Vorshak, and the Vorshak is just like high as a kite. So it felt a little like a drug reference, maybe not, but that's certainly what I thought.
Ooh, the blue potion. Oh yeah.
This is another one where I just was struck by how empty the village is. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like
So here's the thing. You're right. It is very empty. But we see more new Ewoks in this episode than we ever have ever.
Just don't. The way these shows like reuse animation, I don't know why we don't just have the same crowd scenes in the background or something, because it's so strange to just have like. Was there ever more than like 3 Ewoks in any given shot? It's just
probably not.
And it's like it's the whole town. It's the whole village's harvest. It's like this big thing, and you just see. Maybe you see, I think maybe 7 or 8 over the course of the episode, but there's never, maybe in the end when they all kind of come out of their captivity, do you get a sense of more? But I don't know, something about it just seems like a really empty village.
Yeah, like every shot was tight.
Yeah.
Right, everything was real small, and like you only ever saw like a platform. And here's the thing that actually, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I thought of that too, that like we really only ever see a platform and then half of the rope bridge.
Yep.
I thought, why is there not a wide enough shot that we're seeing the bridge? And that actually bothered me, because I was just like, what's the deal? Like, they'll have that platform with a bridge, and then you might see a hand drawn, penciled in platform way in the background, like way in the background, but nobody's occupying it. It's just up in the trees. And there was never like a full shot of the village.
It's just so weird to me that we don't have some established backgrounds that show like life and movement. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. There was a lot of weird pronunciations here too. Sometimes it was the Duloks shaman. Sometimes it was shaman. And at one point, Wicket says Kavork. He says, "Oh, Kavork," instead of Kavark.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
I felt like this was maybe the best showing of the Duloks. I mean, their initial plan is pretty good. Yeah. And then when things go a different direction, still pretty good. So I felt like they came across pretty well. I want to give a special shout out to the Twitter account Endor Duloks. You can follow them at Endor Duloks. Just funny stuff. All Dulok all the time. So good times there. So this would be an episode I think they would enjoy, because the Duloks come out looking pretty well, I think.
Yeah, they actually were very successful, and I was surprised at the point where they took over the whole village. Like, really, the only I mean, they kind of got lucky that
Yeah.
Wicket was just like, I don't know how to do this. I'm just going to kiss her.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, he would have been gone.
Yeah.
And the Duloks would have had the village. They would
True.
have eaten that feast. They would have taken all the food. And the Ewoks really would have been, they would have been without food.
Yeah. So we have them like kind of feasting while the Ewoks are locked away, I guess. And then the thing that really bugged me though was that it's the same thing as last time. Huna just comes and distracts them with a dance, just like the whatever those dumb things were in the last episode. I can't remember what they're called now, but I've lost them from my memory.
The
same
tree living thingers.
The tromes.
Tromes, that's it. Tromes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing with the dance. And then when the Ewoks all come out and the Duloks are like afraid of them, I'm like, why? Why are you afraid of the Ewoks? I know get that.
It is. I thought the scene though, where the Ewoks were like getting pulled into the hut and like disappearing. Yeah. I thought, well, that's a really clever. Like that was kind of like it didn't frighten me, but I thought, well, that was like really compelling. Like it was just like, like, they just get pulled away, and you're like, wow, the Duloks kind of are nasty and evil. They really are.
Yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot more than I've enjoyed some of the recent ones, I guess. And even though we had the repeat with the dance at the end, I did feel like the overall plot was a little different, and the fact that the Duloks actually seemed to have a good plan for a change, I thought was good.
I think
as much as I don't care about the flogs too, it was kind of nice to use the flogs again, I guess,
And when they said flog, I was like, wait a minute, flog. What is the flog?
It's been a while. That was like, what, episode 2? Or
it was like 2 or 3 or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, you might be right. I think it was episode 2 or something like that. And with the flog baby, right? The flog baby and family.
Yeah, Rampage of the Flogs,
I think what they had mentioned it, and I thought, it would have been much better if they kind of focused on that aspect that, like, throughout the episode, I thought there's really no, like, in every other episode, there's been like, we need to do this or everyone's going to die, or somebody is going to die or something, there's always been like really dire consequences, right, if they fail. In this one, it was like, like they're just stealing our food, and it was never like a, well, why don't you share it with the Duloks or something, or like give them a meal and then tell them to go on their way, or like, there was never like a, well, and it was said once, like, they're gonna steal it. He said like, we forgot our harvest didn't do so well, so we're just gonna take yours, and it's just like that's where they should have been like, stop. Like, okay, there it is. We're gonna die. Right. We need to stop them, or they're gonna take our food and we're gonna die.
Exactly.
Because that's what every episode's been. And this one was like, nah, they're just gonna take our melons and eat our, harvest dinner.
Your point in last episode was that it would have been nicer to just have the whole trouble there being contained in the village, and essentially that's what happened in this episode. Wicket gets carried away a little bit, but basically. We're at the camp pretty much the whole time. We see the Duloks
the whole time.
So you kind of got your wish there.
But then we hardly ever saw the village. Like I wanted to see the village, and we only saw like one hut at a time.
I know.
There was never a shot of like 6 or 7 huts and different levels and bridges and ladders. It was just the Huna opening up the roof of a hut and then putting it down, and then a foot on a bridge.
Yep.
She never broke any bridges. And I thought for supposedly causing havoc, she's really not causing any havoc.
Yeah.
Just inconvenience.
She's because she's not like ripping the tops off. She's just like
she's like lifting them up and then putting them back, and then like Logray and Chirpa on the bridge are like, hold on, and it's just like, what? I mean, like I was waiting for it to like fail, and then Logray like do some like repair magic or something like. But no, nothing. Like no one got hurt. Nothing happened.
Maybe I'm just getting soft, but like I'm a little bit more forgiving of this episode. I feel like, and it's not that I haven't liked the other ones. Like I know we ragged on Wicket's wagon for like the ghost showing up, but and the last episode was kind of like, well, we've seen this before. But I felt like this one was maybe more entertaining than the majority of them.
Yeah. I think this one was a traditional, seemed to me like I like the fact that that it kind of worked,
Yeah.
right? When it was like, oh
Yeah.
no, like don't wake her up and have her start looking for Wicket
Yeah.
because then she'll start tearing the place apart. And I thought, well, that actually makes sense. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
she kind of did that. She was like,
Right.
Wicket,
Right.
Wiki, going
Wiki.
into the town
Wiki.
and
Wiki.
starting to
Yep.
destroy stuff. So like, it made sense to me. But then there was like, and never was I like, oh man, like if they don't succeed, this is going to be really bad. And I
Yeah.
think that's where they failed. Like maybe if the Duloks were seen like, running, actually part of them running off with some of their harvest, but it was kind of like, we're going to steal your harvest,
Yeah.
but then like they got distracted by the food and then never actually took anything or did anything.
Now you
you
caught
know?
something that I didn't in this episode, because I guess when the Dulok shows up dressed as Umak, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Umak,
like
the Tulga trader or whatever. I was like, Tulga, I know.
Umwak.
Okay.
Umwak.
I was like, I know that name, but I didn't put together what the disguise was.
Oh yeah.
Because he's got like sort of a melon on his nose and a whole like robe and everything.
He dressed as a Tulga, and we've all seen a Tulga before,
Right?
And that's Morag.
Yeah.
And when I realized that, then that coconut that he had on his face, or that like melon that he had on his face to make him look strange, you realize now if you think about what Morag looked like, that's what she looks like.
Yeah.
She's got that weird like bulbous face with a tiny mouth, and then the sticks coming out of her head. That's what first ticked me off. I was like, or cued me to it. I was like, wait a minute, I recognize somebody wearing a headdress like that.
I totally missed it, so I'm glad you caught it.
Yeah. Another Tulga. Look at that. It was honest Umwak. Very
right.
clever of him to be like, I'm honest. Everyone
honest.
calls me honest Umwak. I'm just going to barge in.
Gosh, what was your Ichiwawa moment this time around?
I think my Ichiwawa moment, as corny as it is, was the hippo thing at the very end, because I remember you on our first episode being like, man, I really liked that thing. And I think that may have actually been your Ichiwawa moment from the first episode, where you were like, I like that thing. And I was like, there it is. We get to see it. Like it's coming out of the water with all the plants on his back. And like that for me, I was just like, oh, that's such a nod to the first episode. And it was a couple
little continuity. Yeah.
Yeah, there was continuity this episode, so I can't really knock it, even though I feel like there wasn't really anyone was really in any danger.
Yeah. I think the lack of cataclysm, though, was something that I really appreciated about it, because we've had this conversation a million times where we're like, again, it's like this one thing is going to destroy the whole planet. So I kind of liked that this was more, just like we're going to be hungry. We better stop this or we're going to be hungry. I like that it wasn't just like, or the world will implode or something.
Endor's going to die.
I like the scale of it.
This episode fits in this world.
Yeah, it does.
We have the return of the Flogs, Tulgas, new Ewoks. The episode again started out with those little rat creatures with the suction mouths. Like they're kind of like they're kind of starting to develop this show. I know it's 12 episodes in, but it's becoming an ecosystem.
Yeah,
there's now a setting in Endor.
Yeah.
What about you? What was your Ichiwawa moment?
Oh boy. I think for Ichiwawa, I mean, it's hard to pick a specific one, but I guess I just feel like the Duloks this time kind of get that honor, because I feel like dressing as the Tulga was clever. Their initial plan was clever, thinking on their feet to be like, okay, fine, we'll just take Wicket and she'll destroy the village, easy peasy. I felt like every step of the way they were pretty good, and I feel like each of those transitions, I was like, okay, Duloks, I see you. Yeah. Did you have an Okavark? Worst moment of the show.
I think the worst moment of the show, where they had an opportunity to add some sort of cataclysm, was when Chirpa and Logray were on that bridge.
Okay.
I was just like, I want to bridge the break. Like, just let them hold on and it be okay. Whatever.
Well, that would just
like
be peril, not necessarily global catastrophe.
It's not catastrophism.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
They're not. Like, I mean, we did see the Duloks like fall like 100 feet and then survive.
They're bouncy, springy.
They're bouncy. But like, I was just like, oh, it would have been so great. That would have been like an opportunity for like Logray to like quickly like and do something and like maybe repair the bridge before it could get to them, or levitate, or just do something to kind of demonstrate that he is. I don't know, because we've had it in the past where he's like, oh, I'll just do this. And he does it. And it's just convenient to that episode. And I thought well, if it's convenient to that episode, wouldn't have been convenient now. So I know I
Yeah.
complained then, but now I'm complaining that
The other
he
way.
didn't.
Right.
That he did do it then, but he didn't do it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. The
Right. So it's just
inconsistency.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd just been great if they were like, oh, and then somebody like the kids like Weechie or Willie, who've been like useless the entire episode, pulled them up.
Yeah. That would have been nice.
That would have been like, oh, okay. And then we would have realized, okay, Huna is actually destroying parts of the village.
Right.
Because that's the whole thing. Like, oh, she's going to ransack and destroy the village. Never did. She just made everyone hop on a bridge for about, 20 seconds, and that was it. It's like the worst of it.
In a way, she is my Oak of Arc moment. I didn't like the whole, the only way to snap her out of it is a shock. Like, that doesn't even make sense. That's I guess that's how the potions work. And a shock could just be anything. And so he just like kisses her on the nose, and she's like,
yeah, like a cold bath. I mean, like what?
I know.
A bump on the head.
I didn't really. I just think that was a really lazy way to be like, okay, she's not under the spell anymore. And I think you could have done something more interesting.
You know what I thought about? I did think about this, and this maybe will open your or mind to that situation. Is I did think, oh, that's silly when he's like, I'm just gonna kiss, But the fact that he kissed her and it broke her out of the spell, that it was like, oh, it kind of makes sense, right? Like the spell makes you love somebody, but then the moment you act on it, the spell goes away. Right. So it's almost like it's not a spell, it's like a curse. Right. That you actually love that person, but then you can't ever kiss them. Yeah. Once you kiss them, then the spell is gone.
Okay.
And I thought that like in everything out there, right? If there's like they either say, I can't make you love somebody, or if there is a situation where like I am going to make you love somebody, there's a caveat to that.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that they just don't actually love you. So that went through my mind where I was like, oh, interesting. The potion works until you act on that love. Then I thought, what happens? What about the anger one? Like,
true.
What shocks you out of being angry? Like kissing?
So.
You just kiss them too. Like that works.
Everything. Yeah, it's just a Superman kiss from the movies where you just kiss them and they forget everything. Yeah, you got to do a lot of legwork to explain that, but I'll accept that.
Okay. Yeah.
I find this one hard to rate. Where would you go, Yub Wise?
Yeah, I don't know. I am like I think for me this is like a solid 3.75.
Wow. Okay.
Like I don't. Oh no, I should give it a 4. I thought about that. It's a 4 because there's not really. I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
It was a good episode. I thought it could be better, but it wasn't bad.
That's what I was thinking. Well, it was like Hillary was saying last week. Like, what's the scale? What are you comparing it to? With the competition being the 12 episodes we've seen so far, I think a 4 is fair because I think I think this would be one that would be okay to just be like, here, watch this episode of the Ewoks. I think fine. The only thing you might miss is the Morag joke, but other than that, I feel like this works as a pretty standalone kind of episode and a good representation of it. So yeah, I say 4. I say 4.
Okay.
Next week is kind of interesting because it's going to be season 1, episode 13. Asha is the episode we're going to be covering.
Asha.
But the thing is, like, it is the season finale, but in a way, it's kind of the series finale for this first batch of episodes because we're going to come back with a new format, a fully new cast, a new theme song, a very different show.
A different color palette. It's like, I wonder if there's different artists as well.
Probably. So next time when we're talking about Asha, that's really going to be sort of the end of like the first series, because I think even when it was on the air, the second season was called like the New Ewoks or something. So I don't think it's
okay.
Yep. So no more Taj Mahal theme song. After next week is the last time we get to enjoy it.
Man, I feel like I'm gonna miss it. I think I remember. And I'm just because like when we first started this a long time ago, my kids like watched the 2 seasons like 4 or 5 times in a row. And I remember walking in and being like, "Whoa, what is this show?" Because I think the second season looks very different than the first. And the theme song, I was just like, "Oh, I like the Taj Mahal one better."
You know what?
I think it's like really bad.
So I've never heard of Taj Mahal outside of this. I mean, other than the building in India, I know of, but.
Right,
the musician, never in my life. Just yesterday, I stopped at the record store down the street from me, and I was looking for Meatloaf. I was looking for Bat Out of Hell. And
Meatloaf. I know why you're. Yeah,
I was in the M's. I was in the M's, and there was a Taj Mahal album, and I was like, "What?" So I saw
Really,
it.
they had it listed as Mahal instead
Mahal.
of Taj.
Yeah, it was in the M's. Yeah. And I was like,
Oh,
okay,
man.
there it is. He's the Ewoks
Wow.
guy. So
It would have
yeah,
been great if the Ewok song was actually on there.
it would have been. Yeah, it
It's
would have
like
been
an
good.
extra, like a hidden track on the record. I
Yeah.
love that when they would do that.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, well, watch along with us on Disney Plus or wherever
Yeah.
you're watching. If you happen to have a VHS copy of Wicket the Hero, you can watch along with us for the episode Asha. So I'll see you next time, buddy.
Yeah. See you next time. It was a pleasure. This Endorian Life was brought to you by the Radio Meanwhile Network. You can find more about this show and others like it at our network's website, radiomeanwhile.com. Share your thoughts on this and upcoming episodes by following us on Facebook or Twitter at Endorian Life. And please rate, subscribe, and share this show wherever you get your podcasts.